Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today I wanted to quickly discuss everything that's going on at Tottenham at the moment. Of course, Spurs lost to West Ham 1-0 in a very disappointing performance, another London derby defeat this season. But yeah, obviously Spurs, the whole club at the moment, in a real mess at the moment, and I just wanted to come on here and quickly give my take. Of course, it's been a long time since I've done a video, but yeah, I think after yesterday's performance and kind of the state of where Spurs are at, just wanted to do a quick video. So yeah, of course, yesterday it was our fourth London derby defeat of the season. I think it's pretty clear that in terms of the motivation in every single match, the other team's been up for it more. I think against Arsenal, they were absolutely up for it more than us. Against Crystal Palace, absolutely more up for it than us. Chelsea come to our place and they absolutely smashed us in the second half. Again, you know, players from our side just didn't look like they were wanting to win the match as much as Chelsea. And then of course you have yesterday's defeat again, and you know, West Ham wanting it more than us. So I think that's the most disappointing thing at the moment. Of course, the players have to take a lot of responsibility for that. I think any London derby, you should be getting up for that sort of performance. I think when you see the marking of Harry Kane, for example, completely lost Antonio for the goal. And, you know, Harry Kane should be the number one guy who should be motivated, who should be wanting to win these London derbies, given that he's come through our academy. So it kind of sums up where the players are at, where the club's at the moment. There's just kind of no motivation to win these sort of fixtures. That should be kind of the bare minimum, really, and we're just missing that. But I do also think it has to come from the manager as well. I think the manager has to give the players something to believe in. He's got to motivate them. And at the moment, it just doesn't seem like he's doing either of those. And I think if you look at Nuno as a guy, he looks like a really nice guy. But ultimately, you know, you see him on the touchline, he kind of just stands there with his arms folded, and he just looks like a guy who just seems to be very uninspiring. And yeah, it's I think that's kind of a reflection where we are as a team. I think off the pitch, there's a lot of worrying concerns. Again, I think yesterday we saw in the second half, we saw Spurs did not have a shot on target. And ultimately, I think that's down to Nuno, because for me, it was a bizarre appointment that we went for Nuno. You look at his style of football in the past at Wolves, he's very similar to Jose Mourinho. And I think ultimately what it comes down to is that Nuno's been asked to play a brand of football that he's not comfortable with coaching. And that, for me, stems from Paratici wanting a particular style of football and the club wanting a different style of football. Paratici, of course, the man who appointed Nuno, he turned down Fonseca because his style was too attacking, according to Fonseca. And I think Spurs, they were looking for an attacking coach. So there already, you've got a decision where we appointed Paratici, who I think's got a very different footballing philosophy from what Spurs wanted. So I think there we've already seen a big division in terms of what our director of football wants and what the club wanted. And you know, that's led to the appointment of Nuno and caused real confusion. And I think that we'll continue to see that, because again, the club, they wanted a director of football in, they've appointed a manager who's completely goes against their beliefs. Of course, at Juventus, I think Paratici's kind of philosophy of football is the way that, you know, Italian football is renowned for being quite defensive, and exactly the opposite of what Spurs wanted. So as I said, I just think we'll continue to see more poor decisions, more indecisive decisions. And just on Paratici, I think he's a brilliant director of football. I think he'll get in some great players for us. But, you know, as we saw, I don't think that Nuno was the right appointment for Spurs, because now the club are putting pressure on Nuno to play a particular way. Nuno's completely struggling to implement that style of play. So, you know, ultimately, it does come from the club that they've made a poor decision to appoint maybe the wrong director of football. Again, I need to stress, I do really like Paratici, and I think he's a great director of football. But is he kind of the right man for Spurs? I'm not particularly sure, given the way that Spurs fans, the club wants us to play. So a bizarre decision, and yeah, it's another very poor footballing decision made by the club. And that's again why we're in this mess. I just don't think the club, footballing wise, they never really have made any correct decisions. I think with Mauricio Pochettino, who's a manager we stumbled upon, who was very fortunate, but it's another poor mistake from the club, and very disappointing. I think now this season, it's already been put down as a transitional season. I think the club came out and said that that's what it is. It's going to be a transitional season, and we've got to be patient. But I think Spurs fans are absolutely fed up of that word, transition. And you can't put this season down as a transition, because we're not transitioning into anything. There's no sign of any sort of progression. As I said, we've got in kind of what it feels like the wrong manager. So yeah, there's no progression this season. It's not a transitional season. It's going to be a complete waste of a season, and that's totally unacceptable for Spurs because we're being asked to pay pretty much the highest season ticket prices in the Premier League, and that's obviously very frustrating. You can quite easily say don't turn up, don't pay the money, but that's very difficult to say when obviously you want to love and support the football club that you follow. So very, very frustrating. It's a horrible time to be a Spurs fan. I'm very worried about the direction of the club, and yeah, just don't feel as though there are any positives at the moment. I think the manager, for me, I think Nuno definitely is the wrong man for Spurs, unfortunately. As much as I don't think he's a bad manager either, I think that's worth saying. I don't think Nuno is particularly a bad manager. I just think he doesn't fit the right fit what Spurs are looking for. And he's been, what I need to stress is I think he's been told to play a brand of football that he's not comfortable with. So yeah, horrible time to be a Spurs fan. I think maybe the only positive is I think there will be a change of manager. For me, it always felt like we're waiting for Mauricio Pochettino to come back. I don't know when he's going to become available, but yeah, I mean, even if we were to get a manager back like Pochettino or another attacking manager, it just feels strange when you have a Paratici in charge and he kind of seems to have different ideas from the manager. So yeah, very, very concerned for kind of the future of the club, and yeah, another horrible decision by the club. So yeah, very, very worrying. And that's basically what I've got to say for this video. Thank you very much for watching this quick video. Hopefully I will do get some more videos up more regularly. I've been very, very poor in terms of uploading videos, but just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on the club and kind of where we're at as a club. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment on my channel. And thank you for watching. Come on you Spurs.